It's a lot that comes with center. I don't think people understand how much we're basically the QB of the O-line.
That's right.
We got to have all 5 on the same page. And it's definitely a job, but I love it. I love every part of it.
You know, your group's no exception. Obviously, tons of tough competition where you played.
Right.
Lots of great players. Who was one of the players that you lined up against in your career? It doesn't even have to be this year, that either you learned a ton from or just took you to school and you thought, okay, I got to figure out ways to counter that.
I would say this year, my toughest opponent I went was Mozzie Smith.
Yep, I see that.
Yeah,
Checks out.
Yeah. He's a freak, as you guys know, powerful guy. But I wouldn't say he schooled me or anything. I definitely handled my own against him. But he was definitely the toughest opponent.
Long day.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I think that was like a one pressure game, which like on paper is nothing.
Right.
But when you watch the tape, you're like, wow, that was a war.
Yeah, it was a battle.
It
was a battle.
War
yes, sir.
inside, man.
Yes, sir.
Now, you also went against a lot of really good defensive coordinators, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, were you the one calling protections?
Most of the time, yeah, I'm calling out the mic and calling out which way we're sliding to. And if anything Cliff seen that I didn't see, he would come and override me. And yeah, we ran with it. We had great communication all year.
So in terms of, some of these fronts, which is feels like half your schedule, that does a lot of like the late stems before the snap.
Yeah.
How were you guys dealing with that as a unit?
Really just we watched a lot of film and we were prepared for it. We knew it was coming. So when it happened, we just automatically checked to, so let's say they're in even front and they stem the odd. We just checked to our odd call and we roll from there. So like say if we're in the even and we got a lead call and they stem the odd, we go to our sort where we just get vertical and sort everything out. Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't hard for real when you watching on film and you know what's coming.
So you treat it like a 5-0 call, or
pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, I'm always locked on the nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when a backer would walk up, were you going into 5-0, and then if he went, you're just looking for work?
Yeah, so like if a backer walks up, I'm bigging it. It's 5-0. Yeah. They call it at the next level I'm learning. 5-0 call, and yeah, if he drops, I find work, clean some ribs up.
Yeah, I love that.
Full slab.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
Penn State, known as an athletic factory, turns out has a tremendous training and weight program.
Yes, sir.
Every year, combine results out of Penn State are mind-blowing. So we know about the guys that came out last year and the year before that, all the guys that are playing in the NFL. We know about the guys in this class, including you. Who's next? Who's going to be sitting in that chair next year from Penn State that we need to know about?
To be honest with you, he should be sitting in this year. But Olu Fashanu is definitely a guy that's going to be up and coming. Well, up and coming, I would say he's arrived.
Yeah, no.
Our two true freshman running backs.
Oh yeah, he got there quick.
Yeah,
he got there quick.
Yeah, they came on the scene and exploded, and I feel like they're only gonna get better. You got Drew Allar. I feel like I'm excited to see him take over the offense, and then you got guys on the O line. You got Drew Shelton, a true freshman that replaced Olu after he got hurt. I feel like he's only gonna get better and better, and those guys are gonna definitely be the future for Penn State.
I do have a question for you on the run game, right? Because it feels like, especially today with how much nickel is played, it used to be you're getting edge, shade nose, 3-tech, edge.
Right.
A lot of teams are moving that nose to be a 2-eye now.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that has been affecting in terms of like how you guys work your combos and everything like that. Are there certain things that if you get a 2-eye instead of a nose, like let's say you're running outside zone to them, how does that change how you're working together on those combos? Oh,
yeah, definitely. So if I have a shade to outside zone, I'm reaching them. Like, that's a solo block on me. I got to reach them. But if we got a 2-eye, it's basically a combo block with me and the guard. And the guard is trying to just run and give me a stiff arm to open his shoulders up. And I'm just coming in to take it over, get him reached, and we just run off the ball, to be honest with you.
Do you feel like it's almost easier sometimes for the back if he's like really penetrating and the guard's going up and everything like that. If he's still kind of like on your front shoulder, are you just throwing him by and letting the back cut off?
Yeah,
you?
definitely. Either if I can get him to throw him by, or if not, if I can reach him, which makes it so much easier for the back, which I would prefer to reach him. But if not, definitely I'm just using my inside arm and just throwing him. Definitely.
So if you feeling like quickness more than power is like your game?
Yeah, definitely.
And you were working on the practice field today on those combo blocks.
Yes.
Anything from the NFL coaching staff that was different or new or a light bulb moment for you?
Definitely wasn't different. It's definitely a lot more wide zone here. The main concept is wide zone. We barely ran outside zone. It was more gap scheme, inside zone, mid zone. But yeah, definitely just learning to just run off the ball, just go. Usually in college, you gotta focus on your footwork, and here they just don't want you to step under.
Move,
just go. Yeah, I like that.
Well, it plays into that quickness and power part of your game.
Definitely.
Like, just because, and we see this every year, and it's not just with offensive linemen; it's with all players and fits and systems.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, maybe you can do something.
Right.
There's a running back here this year, Mo Ibrahim from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Very few college career catches because Minnesota just doesn't throw to the back.
It's just inside zone.
They just don't.
Right.
But what we're looking for is, hey, can you catch? And the same thing. It's like, oh, well, he worked all gap and power. Doesn't mean you can't run outside zone.
Right.
In fact, it might exactly suit you. Real benefit of a game like this for you to be able to exist and get coaching in a different system and go, ooh,
yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
That's great. You just be fast. Well, I'm fast anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's
I agree.
awesome.
So you did say the magic words, and every time we ask, offensive linemen about different types of zone, wide zone, outside zone, mid zone, tight zone, split zone, everybody has different definitions for what those are, right?
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, do you guys run mid zone or inside zone or tight? He's like, we just call it tight. So I'm curious, Penn State, how do you guys define wide zone versus outside zone versus mid zone versus tight zone?
So our inside zone and our mid zone is similar. It's really same footwork, wedge 90. It's just really the path of the back, like you said. On inside zone, it's the backside A gap, but on mid zone, it's the play side B gap. That play side hip of the guard, and then on outside zone, it's really a whole different monster. You got a wedge crotch footwork, so like really just running off the ball. And then the running back's aiming point is the ghost leg of the tight end, or if the tight end's in, the play side leg of the tight end.
And so do you consider wide zone and outside zone to be the same thing?
Yeah, I would say wide zone, outside zone. We call it outside zone, but here they call it wide zone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody's got a different name for it. So I always like asking offensive linemen how they see it. Right.
Right.
It's just, it always fascinates me. And sometimes they just switch systems and then they hear like the name for it. It's like, oh, we ran that. We just called it something different.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So what did you guys call the 5-0 that you were talking about earlier? What did you call that?
we big that. It was a big call.
Called big.
Big, yep.
Whether it was linebacker, nose.
Linebacker, nose, didn't matter. Big call.
So in terms of how you would handle DBs coming off the edge, what did you, like if you guys kind of saw like a nickel giving you a funny look, what do you call for that? We would liz it. So like liz or rip. So if say Olu saw somebody creeping up, he'd like, hey, and I'd be like, hey, Liz. And we would Liz out there, which Liz and Rip is a 3-for-3 slide to left or right. And yeah, we had a good success this year picking those up for sure. Did you ever like full slide against double mug, or like how'd you guys handle like 2 in the A's? Yeah, so if we had 2 A gaps, like mug backers, definitely, I would base it. So a base call is just saying that I have the backer that we're sliding to, the slide side, and if we're in 60 protection, which is 6-man protection, the running back has the other backer. And it was that simple, to be honest with you. Would you guys kind of walk him up as like a sniffer, or just expect him to come from depth? We did, I believe, what game was that? I think it was Michigan. We did that because they had a whole bunch of funky blitzes. Well, and they closed quick, too. Yeah, too. Yeah, I believe we did that against them, but usually he just came from depth. Yeah. So you had time to kind of have the back get up there and close.
Yeah.
Because the hard part with that is, like, if you're losing level with the running back, all of a sudden, like, seams can open up.
They can do an axe blitz. Yeah.
Because sometimes, like, they'll read whichever one you're sliding to.
And actually, Utah did that. They did that. But I just made it hard for them because I would just get cushion and just go straight back. So they didn't know what was going
and if you're waiting, then they're waiting.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's 2 seconds, the ball's out.
on.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Make it hard on the defense.
This is why I love
man.
talking to centers,
Yes,
man.
Center, you've already talked about it probably 3 times in just the time we've been talking. Communication as a center. There's the whole physical part,
Right.
which is, look, I can be driving, I can be going to either side, I can be doing it myself. I mean, like, they call it pivot for a reason, right? Center. And the communication piece of that with the quarterback, with guys on the outside, how do they communicate with you? How are you the sort of hub? That's, again, hub, pivot, center. It all comes back to everything's going through you.
Right.
Protection, slide calls, adjustments, things you see, things you're reacting to. How do you feel like that communication piece has grown for you just with experience and all the great players you played with and against?
Yeah, definitely. Coming as a freshman, I was quiet. I play left tackle. Left tackle, you don't gotta say nothing.
Right, you just listen.
Like, guard tell you what to do, or the center's gonna tell you what to do. So definitely coming in, I just had to adjust. You know, it was definitely a growth experience I had. And by this year, it was like second nature. I was just calling out everything. But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot that comes with center. I don't think people understand how much. We're basically the QB of the O-line.
That's right.
We got to have all 5 on the same page. And it's definitely a job, but I love it. I love every part of it.
So I think Penn State has sent, like, I don't know, 15 edge rushers to the NFL since you. I assume the answer is Micah, but who was the most difficult for you guys as an offense to block in practice?
Your assumption is right. Micah was a problem every practice, but right behind him was Odafe Owe.
Oh, monster, yeah.
Man, when I tell you those two are just freak athletes that just have unnatural speed at their size, and that combination of speed and that strength they got is hard to block, definitely.
What are the strength and conditioning coaches doing to pump out all these Penn State athletes? Because every single year, Nittany Lions are just crushing the combine. Like, what are they doing there?
I would say it's a combination of God-given talents that people have, and a combination of just our grit that we have in the weight room. When it starts with winter workouts, is no joke. 5 a.m., you're on that field. Man, mat drills, all of it, hoop drills, water bags. We get right for sure in the winter. And then summer workouts, man, Coach Losi, his program in summer, it might be harder in the winter, to be honest. I mean,
Really?
in the summer, it might be harder than the winter. And we just work, man. We just go out there, work, and when you put the work in, you get the results.
How many calories you putting down in the summer?
At least 4,000. At least. You got to. With those workouts, I'm telling you.
Yeah, got to keep the weight up.
You got to.
Who's the center in the pros that you enjoy watching, pick things up from?
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going to say model your game after that.
Yeah.
Who's somebody you just like to put the tape on?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They don't play no more, but the Pouncey brothers,
Yeah?
I watched
Oh, yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah.
Their game is unbelievable. Definitely Mike Pouncey, Marquise Pouncey, both of them. They had similar games, but them guys are the truth. And this year I was studying a lot. Jason Kelsey,
Yeah.
my opinion,
The
the
GOAT.
best
The
center in the
GOAT.
game.
Yeah.
Hands
Future Hall of
down.
Famer.
Hands down. And what he did last week against the Giants
Oh,
with
that
one arm,
like,
oh
hip
my
toss?
God.
We spent a few minutes on our recap
Oh, my
talking
man.
specifically about Kelsey within, again, his position within the Philadelphia line,
Yeah.
the same one you occupy at Penn State, of coordination. And they have, same thing, ton of obviously great athletes, one of the best O-lines in the NFL.
Definitely.
And he's still the guy.
The
in that
guy.
line
And
that-
what year is he in?
12?
That's
And he's still like a
unbelievable.
first-team All-Pro caliber. Like, I know people were saying, like, well, he might retire after this year. Like, I'm like, why?
Why? He's
Only if he
I feel
wants
like
to.
he's at his peak right now.
yeah, only if he wants to.
What would it mean to you let's just say, the Eagles are hunting for an heir apparent, what would it mean to you to go to Philly and learn behind him?
Oh man, it'd be an honor. Like you said, the GOAT. Like I would go in there and ask him. He would probably hate me because I'm gonna ask him so many questions.
I don't think he would actually.
I think he'd like that.
Okay, that's
don't
even
think
better
he would,
then. Because just to learn from a guy like that and to be able to just see how he approaches the game and just goes about his business, it would be an honor, to be honest.
Oh man, well, you're a phenomenal player on tape.
I appreciate it.
You had a really good day of practice. Can't wait to see what you do the rest of the week.
Yes, sir.
I'm so excited to see where you go in the NFL.
Yes, sir.
You're a really good player, and I cannot wait to see it. So
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Juice, thanks for taking the time.
Sure. Thank you.